So, dude, this show airs 12/22.
Okay. A couple days before Christmas. Oh, dude,
There you go.
I'm glad you reminded me.
Oh.
Oh, dude. Even cool. I don't know if you keep up with like Hallmark. I can't hear anything, but if you can keep up with Hallmark, but they do legit Honda bikes, one a year.
No way.
So this is the NR. I think it's the 700. Then this year they did, and dude, they're like really nice. Like they did the 750 obviously,
Oh, nice.
and then this year they did. So this was the first year, second year, and this year they had to do it. First year Goldwing. They're really cool, man.
Yeah,
like,
that's
they're
awesome.
Actually, like kind of to spec. It's like you got to put it in one of your videos.
So, first off, it's red. It's got to be red, huh?
Yeah.
Like Honda. And then, funny you mentioned lights because this thing is ready to go. Well, first of all, it's pretty smashed. It's not fluffed up because we just jam it in a box at the end. But I spent an hour trying to fix these lights, right? I found a broken bulb, right? I replace it. I plug it in. The sucker lights up for a split second and then out again. I'm like, dude, forget it, man.
Time for this.
Yeah. So this is as good as it's going to get right now. So
that's good, man.
We'll put it right there.
Thanks for bringing the holiday cheer.
It's not even in the shot, but whatever.
It is. It's in my shot. It's all that matters. That's awesome, dude.
So I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas who's watching.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's next week. I mean, we're a week behind for filming or whatever, but yeah, dude. So
are you guys all done? Are you guys like pre-shoppers or what?
Yeah, my wife handled it all. Yeah, so she does a great job, and we did it really early this year.
Yeah, all of my side is done. Me and Jackie don't really go hard on presents for each other. Like we'll like do like some small stuff just to have something to open. But
sure,
I mean, if she wants something, man, I just tell her to buy it. You know, like I'm really not concerned about that. So, not that we have like all this money. It's just that she makes enough money to be able to do that, and we're fine. You know, so, so most of my family's done. That's kind of the hardest part, is just kind of like figuring out who gets what. So I have I'm the youngest of two, brother and sister. They're in Florida, and then my mom, my dad, and everyone's married. Everyone has kids besides me and Jackie. So what we'll do is every year we'll like draw a name out of a hat. We did it like on like my brother just like did a video. He drew a hat, and whoever's name, like they say, I'm drawing for Cody, and he drew me, and then whoever I had, we will take care of their couple. They'll take care of ours, and vice versa.
Sure.
Well, it's like we take care of them, they take care of them, and they take care of them. Kind of like a triangle. So
all right,
we'll do that every year. So it's just like, you know, we're not trying to buy 1,000 gifts for everyone and all their kids.
Sure.
It makes it a little bit easier. So I think Jackie's out shopping right now with her brother.
Okay.
For her side of the family. So she's like, bless her heart, man. She wants the gift to be like super meaningful, and it has to be like, this is like not like I want this and that's what you'll get, but like she just wants it to be meaningful. So it stresses her out to the max.
Gotcha. No, I get it, because I hate shopping, dude.
Right.
I hate it.
Honestly, like Home Depot, Lowe's, gift cards. I'm gonna need something at some point.
Sure.
So there was something I wanted to tell you before. I couldn't remember though. It'll pop in right when you're talking, and then I'll just interrupt you and tell you. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right.
Well, thanks to you, I'm all caught up on The Mandalorian.
Yes.
So that was like, what, 15 chapters?
That's a lot of watching.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I caught up quick. I mean, it's been a week or two. So it's good. I like it. So thanks for
enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching it with my kids like this, like you said, you know. some of them are watching it for the second time, you know.
Yeah, I think I texted you last night, dude. I'm like binging Ozark right now.
Yeah.
Dude, like 10 minutes before we started, I was like watching it, looking at the clock. I'm like, all right, I gotta go. I shut it off.
Yeah, I'm still in season 1, and
dude, it's brutal.
I think I'll start watching that again, because I finished Better Call Saul
Good.
I'm caught up with Mandalorian.
Yeah.
We had some crappy, cold, gloomy, rainy days, so there was nothing to do. I'm like, you know what? Let's just...
Motivation's gone, and so as well as the sun.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Let's do it, man. What's going on, everybody? Cody from MotorcycleMD with my buddy Matt from How to Motorcycle Repair. Welcome to the Broken Moto Show. This is episode 19 of the Broken Moto Show. And this is a show where we talk about motorcycles, ATVs, small engines, with emails that you guys send us in to hopefully help you guys out. Matt, how do they get a hold of us?
So you submit your questions to our email address, which is askbrokenmoto@gmail.com. So put year, make, model in the subject and just be descriptive in the body of the message. And mileage helps. What you changed last.
Yeah.
What else? If it's carburetor related or running related, pictures of spark plugs would help. That would definitely help for some of this questions that we're about to bring up today.
Yeah.
Pictures
are great.
Pictures and videos, obviously.
Yeah, like even if I think we have a couple questions in here where they're really great. I think this whole episode is strictly Honda, which is awesome.
All VT1100s to be exact, 3 of them.
But I think we had a couple of questions where they had gone through the carburetors, Matt, and they did like some kind of modification. It would have been great to see a picture of it.
Sure.
You know?
Yep.
But anyways, thanks for that, Matt.
Yeah.
That's how you guys get a hold of us. Again, this is a Christmas weekend or Christmas week. So Merry Christmas to you all. Again, hope you guys are getting able to either spend time with your families or see them through FaceTime or Skype or whatever you guys got to do. But don't let the season get you down. It should be a good season. We're almost through it.
Yep.
We're almost through it. Well, cool. I think, Matt, what are you drinking
on? Vodka and kombucha. Okay. So it's my watermelon wonder. I'm still working on this bottle. So, so yeah.
It's fun with that. Yeah, dude. I still have yet to try it. My favorite mixed drink currently at the moment are just gin and tonics, dude. I think we've already had this discussion.
I can't do gin.
Okay.
Had a bad night. Just put it that way. So
a bad night on gin sounds miserable. So
yeah. I mean, just just gin. I just can't do it. You know, it's one of those things. You know.
Yeah, no, I get it, dude.
So
I get it. Mine is absolute mandarin vodka. Oh. I can't even have like mandarin or orange toothpaste or mouthwash. It just makes me sick to my stomach. Cool, man. Well, I'm drinking this one is from Comstock, Michigan. I don't know if you're familiar with that place. It's somewhere near you, I feel like.
Michigan's close, but could be far. I don't know. I've never heard of that town, but
Two Hearted Ale, just an American IPA, man. Just Americaning it up. It's only a 7% this time.
See, it's when it's over 8, it starts to get Cody.
It'll say Imperial on it.
How's my audio? How's my audio sound today?
It's great. It's great.
Right. It's obviously a lot closer versus
solid mic placement.
All right, good. Okay, cool.
Well, fire us up, man.
All right, let's do this first question. It's from Eric and Kissimmee. Kisses me. You got to say that really fast.
Kissimmee,
dude.
Or how some people say Kissimmee,
Florida. All right, so he's got a Honda Shadow ACE fouling problem. Hey, fellas, first off, I follow both. You guys are awesome, honest. I'll try to keep this short. 97 Shadow VT1100, 23,000 miles, probably more since the odometer isn't working. Modifications, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Drag pipes, no baffles. Short velocity stacks. So when I read this, I'm thinking he eliminated all the air ducting.
Oh yeah, it's all got to go.
All that's gone, and you got those little air horns, right?
Yeah,
Okay, that's just to make sure. All right, Pilot Jet stock. He said 41, but I never heard of a 41. It's I looked it up. It's 42. But
okay.
So 42 Pilot. Now a 48. Needle valve has one shim added. So he raised the shims, raised the needles with a shim.
Yep.
Main jet stock 175, now 188. Fuel air mixture screw is 2 turns out. Bike runs great and only gives me trouble when I roll on the power in high gears. It bogs down. But the spark plugs foul like a mofo after 50 to 60 miles. I mean, really bad. I have adjusted the mixture from 1.5 out to, which is stock, to around 2 turns. Anything less than 2 turns out and it pops pretty bad on decel and idling. It seems to run smoothest at idle right around 2 to 2.5 turns out. But the fouling problem is really bad and really affects how the bike runs. A good friend who knows a lot more than me said to bring the main jets down to 185s and go to around 1 3/4 out and see how that works out. Plus, I was thinking of removing the shim off the needle because I didn't notice any improvement in the mid-range power curve. I really appreciate any advice. Thanks for sharing your knowledge and experience with the motorcycling community. Eric.
Thanks for the question, Eric.
All right. So my question would be like, where and when is it fouling the plugs? Because essentially you have 3 circuits on this carb, right? Pilot, jet,
Right.
needle, and main. If you break it down into thirds, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So is it fouling if you're just cruising at 8th position throttle, or like half throttle, or full throttle? I mean, those are 3 different areas of the carb. The fuel screws seems to be halfy at 2.5 outs. I would think the pilot jet is sized decently here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But man, to be honest, I don't think a shim will be enough fuel in the mid range with his mods. And then the main, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
What can you add to that, Cody?
So we can take his mixture screws kind of out of the like this email in particular is one of those ones that'd be nice to not only hear the bike idling,
Sure,
because you can kind of hear if it's rich, especially if you braps it real quick, and just how it settles back down, and all that stuff. Right. This is also, I would like to see pictures of what he did with all that piping. So obviously it's gone. Right. So the main one that I'm concerned about would be the vents for the top of the pistons. They're wide open now. Hopefully he didn't like take the hoses and like crimp them or like put a bolt in them.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if he just plugged it, then it can't vent, and it will idle. It will idle all day long, But as soon as he tries to rip on it, the CV piston may not move at all. I don't know if that would foul the plug or not. I don't know. I've never done it, nor have I seen it done. I'm just thinking kind of out loud. Going from a 175 to a 188 main jet for velocity sacks doesn't sound abnormal to me. It's not like it went to like 205. You know what I mean?
No, it's not that rich.
Right. So I think he needs to. I don't. Eric, we need to separate, like what Matt said, where is it happening? But we really need to separate your idea between the mixture screw allowing the bike to run well versus it not running well at high RPM, because 2 completely different circuits. They don't really pertain to each other too much. The decel will pertain to the mixture as well as the idle, and it's idling fine. I'm assuming he has the stock needles in it still. And it's not like the aftermarket super extremely tapered needle, and then he shimmed that and it's already at like number 4, So it's like just reach like stretch to the sky as far as how high the the needle can go. A main jet falling out can do this too. I'm not sure the last time when he went into there, but I've seen a main jet fall out before.
Yeah. So he has popping on decel. Dude, with open pipes. Yeah. That is very hard to cure.
And velocity stacks.
Yeah. So, to jet that out, you can only do so much before you cause other issues.
Exactly. That's one of the big things, guys, is as soon as you go this far, where you take all of these systems out, change the exhaust, it's wide open, doing the straight up TJ Brutal Customs build, you know, which is fine. I don't knock it at all, but there's a possibility that you may lose one characteristic of how the bike is running. You know, it may have an ugly idle, but it may rip midway all the way up to the top end. It may have a slightly muddy mid-range from 4,500 to 5,000, but all of a sudden it's gone. You know what I mean? And figuring out where it is obviously is hard, but I think whenever I see this, whenever I've done my tuning, there's always just a little aspect that you kind of lose because you've made so many changes and now you're trying to correct it. And sometimes it's possible, sometimes it's not. It's very rarely have I been able to be like, man, this bike doesn't decel, it doesn't do nothing that I don't necessarily like. I can make it rip. Yeah, great. But there's always like some kind of quirk, kind of has like a little bit of a pop right when I'm getting down to the bottom, you know, or something like that.
Yeah. So I guess one thing he could do is put in brand new plugs and go cruise it at 8th throttle position for a while.
Yeah.
And then shut it down immediately, pull the plugs, take a picture of them, set them aside, label it, throw in new plugs, and then go cruise it, varying the throttle from 1/4 to 3/4.
Yeah.
That'll be your needle. Again, pull them, take a picture, label them, and then go do a full wide open throttle run with brand new plugs. At least that way you can separate it into 3 categories and see which circuit you need to focus on.
Right.
Assuming everything else is cool. Like, you know, you mentioned vacuum, vent lines.
Yeah. I'm also wondering if it's a California model.
Yeah. With all the
crazy piping and rerouting. Yeah, I wouldn't know. A picture would help, but I don't know. Because he might have been dealing with a whole bunch of hoses that he had to be like plug.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest though, I think like the roll on the power and high gears, it bogs down. I don't think there's enough fuel.
That's what you would expect.
Yeah, because he, you know, from 175 to 188, that's not a whole lot more fuel given what's been taken out of this thing.
Right.
But he's saying it's fouling, which is
after about 50 or 60 miles. So I mean, he's running it.
Yeah.
But if it's super rich on the bottom end, I mean, like on idle to mid-range metering, it's going to mask what it needs up in the top end. Yeah, it's tough because that's why it'd be cool to hear it run. Because if it's run like it's super, super rich, and if he's just letting it idle and he pulls the plug and it's black, then now we have an issue.
Yeah,
now we have somewhere to go.
Right. Okay, so a rich pilot would, if you go to rev it up, the RPMs would fall fast and dip below idle speed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Versus lean would hang and then go slow.
And then finally drop back down to that idle that you had set it at before.
So check that. And another thing you can do is turn the fuel screws in all the way or start turning them in to close them.
Mm-hmm.
The bike should die. I mean, I've seen it where if you have super rich pilot jets, the fuel screws will not kill the motor. So that would be too rich, obviously.
Yeah.
So you could try that.
Now 48. Pilot stock jet 41, now 48. It's a tough one because this jetting does not seem off to me.
It's not crazy.
We're missing something. Something's missing from this equation.
Yeah.
Like either information or what's been done. Something's missing. So Eric, if you want to get back to us, man, that'd be great. It doesn't sound like your jetting is too far off or like, you know, crazy where you should get a slap on the wrist. It's just we're missing something so any more information, pictures, video of what you have going on, what it looks like, how it runs, send it to us. It would help.
Yeah, more information for sure.
Yeah. Cool. Let's move on.
All right, man.
We got to talk about this bodacious beer fund that we got going on right
Dude,
now.
we got some serious donations this time.
Serious
so thank
donations.
you. Yeah.
You guys are crushing it, man. We are so thankful for you guys. Let's call them out. We got Akbar. We got, you know him, Justo. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah.
He donates every single time. And
Yeah.
we really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Thank you.
We got Marty. We got Fitz. Thank you guys so much. We got Thomas. We got Matthew. Yo. And we got another Fitz again.
Same Fitz.
Same Fitz.
Because it's
two
been
different
like,
donations.
Yeah.
Seriously, guys. Can't thank you enough. If you guys don't know what the beer fund is, why don't you let them know what it is, Matt?
Yeah, so it's just a little tip jar, if you will. I mean, we put some time into this, editing, shooting, answering questions and whatnot, and it's just a way to support this show.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for doing that, guys.
Absolutely. We really appreciate it, and it lets us know that you guys are also appreciating it. Cool. So let's move on to question number 2. I'll take this one.
Yep.
This one is from Steve. I've got a 1998 Honda Shadow 1100T, and I took her to the shop, and they told me that the carbs needed to be synced because it was popping or backfiring on idle. So my brother, a friend of ours, and I, got a 4-dial sync tool. We tried to sync it, but the tool didn't work as good as it should have. Meaning it was very erratic and it came with no directions. So they probably got it off of Amazon. I can already picture in my mind which one it is. Anyway, we got it synchronized, questionable, whatever that means. Then we started messing with the air fuel and it sounded good, but when we shut it off, it popped after it was shut off and it was very loud. Wait, it was not very loud. Hindsight being 2020. I think that may have been possibly exhaust gasket, so we messed with the air fuel some more. I shared a video on a group I'm in on Facebook, and I was told it sounds like it's running on one cylinder. We are planning on getting a better synchronizer tool. How do you adjust air fuel properly on these bikes? I know one screw is on the left and one is on the right. I believe we turned them all the way to the right, which is all the way in, and started from there, and I believe we turned it 2.5 turns out on both sides, and it didn't sound quite right, so we kept adjusting a little more, and then that was when we got it to run decent. But then when we shut it off, it popped. How do we fix this? It popped, Matt. It freaking popped. So this could... Did we get a video on this?
No.
Bummer. He shared it with the group, but he didn't share it with us. How is that helpful?
I don't think so. Do you have the Gmail open?
I don't have it.
Okay, you
I
just
don't
got
see
what?
no stinking video.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I would have put a little note in there.
Yeah, you would have. Matt's on top of that stuff.
Yeah.
So, Steve, my guy. I can't say that the shop is wrong. I can't say that they're right. So it seems like you just started going after stuff. That's what it sounds like. You guys just started going after stuff. So as far as it popping after it shuts off, that's a tough one. It can be like leftover unburnt fuel in the exhaust or in the head, and you shut the bike off, also goes crack, like one shotgun, right? Just pop. I've seen that done before. Usually it's like a really rich scenario. I don't think that's as big as a concern. That's no reason for me to be like, there's something wrong with this bike. You know what I mean? Like if I heard it, it happens. There's explosions going on inside the motor. It popped out after it shut off. Who cares? You know, unless it like sets the bike on fire. But it sounds like it's a rich scenario. It sounds like your sync is way far off still. I think that you guys kind of getting it doesn't help too much with actually getting it, because there's no like the bike will run with synchronization being off, but there's only one way to do it right and to know it's right, and that's when it's right, when you have a good set of gauges, or it's been checked by a professional or whatever. A good set of gauges for one. If you bought the $40 gauges off of Amazon, you're gonna have $40 results. So I don't think you're too far off with the mixtures. You said that you had them at 2.5 out, and then you kept going. You probably did. It probably ran really, really well, right close to 3. Turns out full, maybe 3.25 or something, or 3.25. That's where I can usually get those things to run right. But it sounds like if you guys went too far out to like 4.5, 4, you started enriching it up way too much, and you thought it was running well because you got 2 different issues going on. You may have a dirty carb scenario, which was the original problem, right? The carbs are dirty, and then now you're trying to band-aid this with the carb sync and a pilot mixture screw adjustment. So you're just pulling out the mixture screws all the way until 4 and 4.5. Because I was like, ooh, fuel. And then finally it starts to run decent. Like you could just be masking a problem. Idle jets can clog without the mixture screw being clogged. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how we've talked, Matt, where you can run the mixture screw all the way in. And that's one way to check to see if it's clear.
Right.
You know, if it doesn't make any change, it could be really, really rich, like you said, or it could be that it's just clogged. That circuit's clogged. But you can sometimes still get an adjustment out of something and still have an issue with clogging inside of the idle jet itself, is what I'm trying to say. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like you can adjust a clogged idle jet.
Yeah, because you're just opening up the screw more and letting more fuel in.
Like bypass it.
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah.
Well, a fuel screw is a trim of the pilot jet.
Right. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, but
bypassing. Sorry.
Yeah, but okay. Going back to what you said, I think this bike needs a carb job.
I think so too.
Because I mean, right at the beginning, all of a sudden, I'm assuming it was running fine, but one day it started popping or backfiring, due to probably the carbs getting slightly dirty or whatever.
Right. Some kind of muck in there.
And they just need to be pulled and cleaned.
Yeah.
At this point, I would bench sync them.
Yeah.
Because who knows where they're at? They could be way off. And then put it back together. Do a sync with a nice tool. Get a Motion Pro, or what do you like to use? You like to use the K&L, is it? Set?
It's I keep calling it a K&L, but I think it's K&L. Yep,
okay.
K&L.
I mean, a nice set's gonna set you back $100.
Right. I just did a video on comparing 3 different ones. The company DigiSync has one, and it's just like a 2-bank, which is kind of cool. You don't have to buy a 6-bank carb sync, just like you don't have to buy a 4-bank carb sync like what they did. There's other options. I think K&L or Motion Pro may also offer a dial style that's just 2.
So I mean, I would buy a 4-bank at a minimum, so that way, I mean, come on, they're the most common, right?
It is the most common. I agree.
I mean, mine's sitting right over here. I got the Motion Pro, and then I also have the Prop Tech, which is very pricey. I don't see a hobbyist guy buying one of those for a one-time use. But anyway, I would recommend pulling the carbs, cleaning them, bench syncing them, reinstalling, syncing them, and then do the fuel screw tuning. And he asks, how do you do it? Well, wing them out to 2.5 turns stock, and then I open them up if lefty loosey is more fuel, and just get the engine to peak, idle, and RPM.
Yeah,
and they should be equal on both the carbs.
Yep.
And I'm sure you have a video on it. I got a video on it.
Many.
Yeah. So we'll put that in the video description. And you have a carb tutorial on this bike?
I do, man.
Okay.
Sure do. Full walkthrough, Steve. If you want to learn how to clean the carbs yourself, how I would clean them, or how a shop should be cleaning them, I have a full teardown for this video to walk you through step by step and hold your hand the whole way through. Tell you what to buy, what not to buy, and I can't remember if I have a video of me adjusting them once they're on the bike and the bike's running, but I have a video on that, and I'm sure you do too. As
Yeah,
far as mixtures.
on the screws. Yeah, I got. Yeah,
Sweet. We'll link this guy up. We'll load him up with some links below.
yeah, but I'd clean the carbs.
Yep.
So.
All right, man.
Okay. Question number 3. Guess what?
1100. I love it.
All right. This is from Alan. 2000 Honda Shadow 1100 ACE. Hi, just became a member. Enjoy your hands on to detail. So that's your membership site, right? Well, because I don't have one, so it's got to be
Must
you.
Be mine. What's up, Alan?
Of cause I own a 2000. We already said that. I already said that. And while driving about 45 mile an hour, the engine just died. I had half a tank of fresh gas and a strong battery. I let the bike cool down and it turns over, no problem, but doesn't start up. This spring, I changed the fuel filter and fuel pump because the same thing happened before, thinking it was the pump. Any ideas? All right.
Same thing happened before.
So he changed the fuel filter and the fuel pump. Same thing happened before. Those parts were replaced, and now the same thing is happening. So it probably wasn't those 2 items.
Yeah.
If it's happening again, right? I mean,
that's hard. Yeah.
And I don't know what brand of stuff he used here.
Yeah, it's a big coincidence.
And
if he used like Honda stuff, I doubt it.
And then how did it die? Did it just cut out,
Mm.
which would probably be an ignition related issue, or was it like running out of fuel and it kind of slowly sputtered to die?
Right.
So I guess, all right, let's talk about the 3 things that are needed for an engine to run: compression, spark, fuel, and air, right?
Yep.
It has compression, right? Because there's nothing to say it wouldn't. Pull the spark plug, lay it on the cylinder head, crank it over, see if you got spark.
Yeah.
If you have spark, move on to just squirting some starting fluid with the air cleaner removed and see if it'll fire up. So that will tell you if it's a spark issue, or, I mean, if you have spark, no spark, and then if you add fuel, does it fire up?
Yeah.
Right?
That'll tell you you got compression too.
Yeah, that'll drill you down to something closer.
Yeah. I'm curious of like a couple things, because like I've heard this happen and the guy ran out of gas. I don't think that's his problem, but Alan, I think you understand it, that you do have a reserve tank or a reserve. I've seen where tanks are nasty inside and someone's coated it and a flap of flubber wraps itself around the fuel filter, while you're riding, and it just, because there's a fuel filter inside of your tank, Alan. It's not just the one by the pump, which is awesome. You got 2 fuel filters with your bike. Thank you, Honda. So there's a chance that inside a tank, you can also check the fuel flow from the tank. It's gravity fed. Put a hose to it, run it into a bucket, turn the gas on. Make sure it doesn't stop flowing for at least, a minute or 2. Put it to reserve. Does it do the same thing, or does it drain and all of a sudden it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, but for dang sure that fuel tank is full? You could have a venting problem of the tank. So I don't know the condition of the tank. We don't know the condition of the tank. I almost think it's a fuel flow thing, but you're right on the money, Matt. If he hits it with starter fluid, we'll know right away if it's a spark thing.
To add to that venting thing, if you open your cap and you hear psh, then you have a venting issue.
Yeah.
It's not getting atmospheric pressure, and it creates a little vacuum in there, and no fuel can flow.
And this is what I mean, like, again, Alan, I'm not sure if you're in a membership or not. You might. I feel like there's someone who just joined who had 1100, who popped into the private Facebook group that we have. But a picture of the bike, imagine we hear this, Matt and Alan, and I'm no disrespect to you or anybody else, but imagine if we read this question, Matt, and we get a picture of the bike, and it's like, it looks like it's been pulled out of the ocean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It changes things.
Sure.
Or we get a picture of it, and that thing is just mint. You know, it's mint. It's got like 4,000 miles. And then that changes the game, because it's like, okay, you have 80,000 miles. You could be low on compression. You could be like getting there.
Sure.
That's enough time for someone to ruin a bike. You know what I mean? 80,000 miles is a long way.
Yeah.
So again, guys, pictures are awesome, even if it's just of the bike. Okay. We may poke fun at it, but it helps. It helps so much.
I know you have a cell phone. Everyone's got a cell phone.
You gotta. That's how you're listening to this right now, because you got a cell phone.
So what's going on with the CRF 150 back there? You got it up on the handy that's all painted.
Dude, first bike that touched the bench. It's the first one.
So you're just doing some maintenance on it, or you got it up there for show, or what?
Yeah, I was shooting a little video. It leaks fuel all the time. Every time you start it, starts dumping fuel out of the carb, and I just cleaned the carb on it. So but I didn't check the float height on it at all. I didn't have my float gauge with me or anything. And the damn fuel valve, man, you need like a pair of pliers to turn that thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's impossible. You're like two-handing this thing trying to turn it. So I just bought a new one. And I know why it's still on there, because they're like $67. So no wonder why the guy never replaced the damn thing, because it's so expensive. But I'm not going to buy an Amazon one. I would rather have, it's a 06. That's the original fuel valve. I want it to last another, years. So
67 your cost?
My cost would be more like probably like 55, 50.
Okay.
But
still, that's crazy expensive for what it is.
Dude.
I mean, petcocks are not cheap.
They're not.
Yeah.
But so I installed it. So I'm making like a short video on like diagnosing it real quick, I guess. Just replacing the fuel valve, boom, knock it out. And then I pulled the carb off. And then I got that beast over there. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I saw it, the trike.
GL1800 trike, man. So
are you ripping wheelies down the street with that thing?
Oh, yeah. Dragging the trailer hitch right on the back. No,
it's big.
It's a monster. So it's like it takes up a lot of space.
Yeah, I bet.
I almost told myself that this would be a trike-free zone. It's because I have to work on them at work all the time. And I can't put it on the bench. So that means I'm working on it on the ground.
Yeah.
If I need to do brakes or something stupid. So I bought a lift just to work back on the ground again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And no, it's a good buddy of the shop, and he lives like near me, and he stopped by and was like, I need a bunch of work done. So why not? I can do it here. Air filter, coolant, front brake fluid, rear brake fluid, check the final drive out, put some lights on it, do the gold wing stuff that people will do to them.
Nice.
All the doodads. So I might make a couple videos on that. There's a lot of gold wing content out there already, but I think it would be cool to see. I don't know, but I did, however, Matt, finish the CB900F.
Yeah, you were telling me. So how long is the finished product?
Man, honestly, I would say it's probably about maybe 2.5, 3 hours long.
Damn, just for a carb job?
Yeah.
Well, taking it off the bike,
right,
and back on and tuning it. Yeah.
So they get a full removal.
Yeah.
They get choke cable replacement. They get full teardown, or even removing the non-removables, like the secondary, the slow speed circuit, which is kind of like underneath that rubber plug that you're not supposed to remove. There's no like way to remove it besides pulling it out with like a tap and a screw. So, which I don't normally do, but that's a good way to clean that jet out, because it looks like an idle jet. Once you pull it out, it looks like a straight up idle jet, but you're not supposed to take it out. It's just meant to stay. So, so we do that. We split them all the way down, pull the butterflies off.
Okay. I got you.
But yeah, we take them all the way down to that. Shout out to oldschoolcarbs.com. We use their master rebuild kit. It's about 200 and maybe 200 and I want to say 245, $250, but they give you all the gaskets, brand new air cuts.
Oh, okay. It has
with
air
springs,
cut.
Accelerator
pump.
Yep, brand new accelerator pump,
okay.
And all new hardware.
So that's why it's $250.
Yeah, man, it's worth every penny. I mean, you get all new hardware, even the choke plate screws.
Nice.
In there, but yeah, we go through from stem to stern on those carbs, man. So right now it's not out to the public. Only the members have access to it now.
Okay.
So I let them chew on it for about a week or two, and if I can get any feedback from them, what I can add, what may be full, I'll kind of fine tune it from there. So they have full access to it right now. It's like it's all theirs, you know. And then once I go through that, then I'll release it to everybody else. But in the next couple of weeks, I'm doing like a 900 series leading up. Yeah. So I'm going to go through some breaks on YouTube recently or coming up, forks, and then I'm going to launch the carb video.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So you're staying busy.
Yeah. I'm staying busy, man. Staying busy. How are things right now with you? What are you doing?
Oh, dude. I'm waiting on parts for this thing. They said the cylinder has been ported and it got sent out to the plater. So it's a few more weeks.
Yep.
Crank is rebuilt. And I think he's got to fix the drain plug, which is no big deal. And then I'll have all that stuff back so I can start assembling that motor.
Sweet.
The Chevelle, I pulled the seats out and the carpet, and I got to cut out the trans tunnel for the transmission that's going in there.
Ooh.
It's much bigger, dude. I got to cut that whole son of a...
Holy hell.
And then fab up a new tunnel.
You're going to do that?
I'm going to try.
All right, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, dude. I'm just get the saw. Yeah. Got my angle grinder. I'm just going to cut that sucker right out.
Yeah.
And then, I got half of my tubing for the turbo hot side.
Okay.
Dude, there was some delays and they were out of the tubing. Yeah. I ordered it around Thanksgiving and I still don't have it. It's mid-December. Okay. And I'm still, it was 2 boxes and I still am missing 1 box. So I'm waiting on that.
Yeah. But the motor's in, right?
Yeah, the motor's in, but there's no, well, the trans is attached, but I need to, so it's laying like this. And cause the trans tunnel is so shallow, I need to jack it up and get my pinion angle straight and all that.
Okay.
And then build a new tunnel.
The trans that's on the motor right now is the one you're going to use?
So I'm going with a 6-speed manual trans out of Camaro.
Okay.
A T56.
Got it.
So the Corvettes, the Camaros, all that. And it's much taller.
Yeah.
Why? You know, it's just bigger, dude.
Yeah.
So.
Did you do any work to the trans or is it just?
The trans is junk.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. It was one of those purchases that I immediately regret. I bought a core trans for $700, which isn't that bad.
Yeah.
But it is trash, dude.
Okay.
The main shaft is screwed up.
Yeah.
Dude, it needs a lot of money, but at least I have the shell. Because I'm probably better off just buying a brand new trans at this point. But anyway, I have the shell, and I'm using that for mock-up, okay? Because that's what's important right now, so I can keep moving.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
So you have another big purchase coming your way.
Dude.
The trans is imminent.
Oh, dude, they're so expensive. Everything's so expensive with this project, man. It's just...
It's gonna keep going, man.
Oh,
keep going. That's what happens, dude. I got about 25 grand in that car. Like,
yeah.
How did you do that? Like, dude, just you'll know.
Oh man, it's
brutal. It's good stuff.
Oh well. What are you gonna do?
Man. Why don't you take us out?
All right, guys. So So,
so
if you want to submit a question and have it answered on the show and we'll help you fix your bike, send an email to askbrokenmoto@gmail.com. And Cody, go over the rules real quick.
Yeah. Subject, year, make, and model. That'd be helpful. Give us an idea of what's going on with the bike. Any picture, guys. Any picture of the bike. What did you work on? What did it look like before? A video of it running. Even if you're saying that it idles great, show us. Let us know. That's really helpful. We can kind of get this more modernized instead of just two cavemen reading emails. Give us some pictures and some content to chew on. That'd be super helpful. Again, the email is askbrokenmoto@gmail.com. That's the only place to reach us to get on the show. Thank you, everybody, for donating to our beer fund.
Yeah,
if you guys want to find out more information, or if you want to get an idea or see any links that we might have talked about, parts, videos, whatever, it'll be in the description below.
That's right. And you all have a good Merry Christmas, man.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. So that's it.
Later.